Hi, I'm James Tanner, and I'd like to welcome you to Quick Views of Genealogy. Welcome to this quick view on genealogy concerning the introduction to the FamilySearch Research Wiki. I consider the FamilySearch Research Wiki to be the most valuable genealogical resource on the web. But first of all, we need to know where the Research Wiki is located. Believe it or not, it's on the FamilySearch.org website. There are different ways to get to the Research Wiki on that website. First of all, you need to go to the search link at the top of the page on the startup page for FamilySearch.org, and clicking on that link will bring you to a second page called the search page, where there is a further link to the Research Wiki. You can also look for the link to the Research Wiki under Live Help. If you click on that icon, the wiki link is located in the blue box that appears in the picture on the startup page. First, we need to understand what is a wiki. A wiki is a program that runs on the web. It is not a program that runs on your computer. You need to have a browser in order to work with the wiki. A browser such as Internet Explorer, Safari, Chrome, Firefox, and any other browser. It is also a collaborative program, meaning that people participate in creating the content that goes into the wiki. But more importantly, it's a program where the users can add, delete, and edit all the information that goes into the huge database. So the question is, why doesn't it turn into a pile of junk? If anyone is able to go in and edit the information and add or delete information, then why does it become valuable? The answer is pretty complicated. It actually has got a lot to do with human nature. It's human nature to correct and add to and build on information. So for that reason, the Research Wiki grows and adds to information. The question is always raised about how reliable is the Research Wiki. It turns out that it's very reliable, because any incorrect information will be eventually corrected by other users of the program. So how is the Research Wiki different from other wikis on the internet? For example, the large online encyclopedia called Wikipedia. Well, the Research Wiki is a moderated wiki. That means that every entry that goes into the wiki is examined by volunteers who are moderating or looking at the program and making sure that the information is appropriate. Any inappropriate entries are quickly deleted. Now let's get started looking at the Research Wiki. This is a screenshot of the startup page. At the top of the page, there's a navigation bar that will take you back to FamilySearch.org or to the other parts of the FamilySearch.org program, such as Family Tree or the Family Search Centers or indexing or the blog. These links are always available on every page of the wiki. Now, the Research Wiki is made up of articles about where you find your ancestors. This is an important distinction. It's not a place to go to look for your ancestors, so you wouldn't be searching here for names of the people that you want to research. This is a place where you go to find out how to find your ancestors and where records and other sources might be located. And you start searching by a place or topic, and not by an individual, as it says in the middle of the page. Presently, there are over 73,000. In fact, today there were 73,400 articles in the wiki. This number continues to grow. This makes it an extremely large resource. If you were to have an encyclopedia of 1,000 pages, about genealogy, there would be 73 volumes, or 73 volumes of 1,000 pages dedicated to where and how to do your, where to find sources and how to do your genealogy. As I indicated, there's a search box on the page where you can search by place or topic. Commonly have people put in their family surnames, and that is not going to produce any information in this particular resource. If you put in the place where your ancestors lived, or wanted to know about vital records or marriage, birth, death, census records, or whatever other type of record, you can put in those topics and find information in the Research Wiki. These large boxes on the startup page are useful places to get started exploring the wiki, beginning with genealogy, finding records by place, the research tools that are available, using wiki for groups such as genealogy societies, any news that happens to be on the wiki, and how to build or edit and change and make your first editing to the wiki. In addition, on the right-hand side of the page, there's what we call a nav box. That's N-A-V-B-O-X, nav box. A nav box takes you to different parts of the wiki that may be helpful to you in editing or navigating in the wiki. I'll come back to this later. This particular introduction is the first in a series of quick views about the wiki. And I'll spend more time on the research on the nav box in a future quick view. Now, let's do a search for a place. I'm going to enter a place into the wiki box and take you through some of the ways that you would find resources on the wiki. Okay, now we're here on the Research Wiki, and we can see, I'll put in a place. Let me just try Utah, for example. The reason I chose that is because I've been working for the last couple of years on the Utah project, which is a ongoing effort to add content to Utah. When I do that, we get a list of entries in the wiki dealing with Utah. You'll see, if you could read that on your screen, that there are about 8,377 articles in the wiki about how to find genealogy in Utah. Clicking on the link to the Utah page takes us to a standard page for a state in the United States. Every single state is going to vary somewhat, obviously, at different configurations, but basically the same information is going to be available for every state in the United States and most of the foreign countries available. You look on the left-hand side, you'll see a list of topics. Each of those is an entryway into a series of articles on that particular subject. For example, American Indians, archives, libraries, Bible records, biographies, cemeteries, census records, church records, court records, directories, immigration, and immigration. You get the idea. There's plenty of information on a lot of different topics. In addition to statewide links from this page, there are links to each of the counties in the state. For example, if I click on the first county listed, Beaver County, Utah, I can go into an article about Beaver County and once again find a series of information about the county-wide records that may be available in all of the different categories. If I scroll down on the screen, I'll see the paragraphs written about each of those areas: Bible records, cemeteries, links to the census records that may apply to that county, churches and religious groups in that county, the history, land and property, maps, migration, military, and it goes on through the other organized subjects in the wiki. At the bottom of the page, of each of the pages, there is another navigation box. This one's way down here, that links to Utah-related articles. This is like an index of all the other articles in Utah that might be available if I wanted to go to a different county or go to a different topic. I'm going to choose a topic, for example, land and property in Utah, and then I will go to that subject heading. You'll see it's organized by in chronological order of the records that may be available during different time periods in that state. Well, what if I go to a state back east? Let's say I went to New York. Type in New York into the navigation box on the right-hand side of the screen and get to a list of 7,000 plus articles on New York State. Clicking on the New York link, you'll see this is very similar to what we had in Utah. You have a list of topics on the left-hand side. You have a list of the counties on the right in the center, and links to other repositories. Let's say my people came from Albany County. Let's just try the first one here. And again, we have all of the county resources that might be available, such as a list of all the boundary changes for that county, Bible records, biographies that are available, cemetery records that are available for the county, census, and other records. I hope you can begin to see that there is a tremendous amount of information here in the Research Wiki. Now, if I put in, a lot of times people say, well, yeah, but what if my people came from the Ukraine or some other place? Well, I can click on, put Ukraine into the wiki and click on the link to the Ukraine, and it'll say getting started with Ukraine research, have the jurisdictions, different parts of Ukraine, your research tools for beginning Ukraine research, and guide to reading Old Church Slavonic, obtaining civil documents in Ukraine, other information about researching in Ukraine. Now, obviously, when you go to some of these locations, the wiki is yet to develop the information that's necessary for that particular jurisdiction. Well, let's go back to the wiki home. If you go over the right-hand side and look to research articles, you'll see a link to the wiki home. And now we're back at the beginning of the article, of the program. I hope this quick view has given you a little idea about where to find the wiki and what type of content might be included. In future wikis, we'll go into some more detail about how the wiki works and how you can contribute to the wiki. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching another Quick Views in Genealogy.